The district attorney in Trump's Georgia case pushes back. Fannie Lou says attorneys made false accusations about a conflict of interest to sideline her from election interference case against former President Donald Trump. I'm Tyrone Bowman. This is Tyrone Bowman Tonight. According to the Washington Post, Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis, who is prosecuting President Donald Trump for alleged election interference in Georgia, delivered heated testimony Thursday to rebut allegations that her romantic relationship with another prosecutor should disqualify them both from the case. Taking the witness stand in an Atlanta courtroom, Willis testified that defense lawyers seeking to sideline her made false and offensive allegations about her history with Nathan Wade, whom she hired in 2021 to be the chief prosecutor against the former president and his associates for alleged racketeering. Let me insert this here. Since in politics it seems like anything goes these days, when Trump was seeking the presidential GOP nomination in 2016, the information came out that he was involved in an adulterous affair. Yet, it didn't disqualify him from getting the GOP nod and become a president. So why is it that when a black district attorney and a black prosecutor, who are two fully consenting adults to have, decide to engage in a relationship that has nothing to do with this case, be disqualified from prosecuting the former president? I know you all don't like things like this, but this seems to be a privilege thing going on here. Yes, you all know exactly what I mean. So, taking the witness stand in an Atlanta courtroom, Willis testified that defense lawyers seeking to sideline her made false and offensive allegations about her history with Nathan Wade, whom she hired in 2021 to be the chief prosecutor against the former president and his associates for alleged racketeering. You're confused. You think I'm on trial, she said in a response to questions from defense lawyer Ashley Merchant, who has led the push for her disqualification. These people are on trial for trying to steal an election in 2020. I'm not on trial, no matter how hard you try to put me on trial. Judge Scott McAfee is considering whether the two have a financial conflict of interest that should disqualify them. If they are removed, it could throw the prosecution of Trump and 14 remaining co-defendants into disarray. Separately, in New York on Thursday, a judge ordered Trump's hush money trial to begin on March 25th, making it the first of the 4 criminal cases the former president faces to be heard by a jury. In Georgia, Willis acknowledged being romantically involved with Wade for a period, but said defense lawyers had lied repeatedly and used innuendo to suggest she had engaged in impropriety when none existed. Earlier in the day, Wade himself spent several hours testifying in the unusual hearing. He also acknowledged the now former relationship and denied wrongdoing. Trump and 18 co-defendants were indicted in August on racketeering charges alleging they engaged in a criminal conspiracy to subvert the 2020 presidential election. All defendants pleaded not guilty. 4 have since taken plea deals. Co-defendant Mike Roman, represented by Merchant in early January, alleged Willis and Wade benefited financially from Wade's contract to work on the case, including by taking expensive vacations together. That was a conflict of interest that could have influenced prosecutorial decisions, Roman alleged, kind of like Justice Clarence Thomas on the Supreme Court. Yeah, let's talk about it. All the expensive vacations that he's received and all the quote-unquote non-official gifts that he's received. And of course, he has an impartial point of view when it comes to cases concerning his friends that comes before the Supreme Court. Are you kidding me? There's a double standard in this nation. You know it, and we know it. And you all must seem to think that we're dumb, blind, and stupid. We're never going to forget how you Republicans treated America's first black president. Our memories are long, and we will never forget. Believe that. Willis Wade testified that the two weren't in a relationship at the time Willis brought him onto the prosecution team. Both he and Willis said their romantic ties ended last summer. Miss Willis is very as I am. We're private people. Our relationship wasn't a secret. It was just private, he said on the stand. In the New York criminal case, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, a Democrat, unveiled an indictment charging Trump with falsifying business records last April. Damn, this man can't seem to get it right. The indictment accused Trump of orchestrating a scheme to pay hush money to porn star Stormy Daniels in order to suppress damaging sexual allegations, which he denied on the eve of the 2016 election. On Thursday, Justice Juan Merchan, who is presiding over the New York case, also denied Trump's bid to dismiss the 34 felony counts pending against him. Trump, wearing a Navy suit and red tie, sat at the defense table, flanked by his lawyers. Todd Blanche, a lawyer for Trump, told the judge that a trial in the midst of a campaign season was something that should never happen in this country. President Trump is going to now spend the next 2 months working on this trial instead on the campaign trail running for president, Blanche said. What's your legal argument at this point? Asked Merchan. Trump had argued Bragg's case should be dismissed because it is politically driven, and the alleged crimes occurred more than 5 years before he was indicted. Sitting for a week trial in Manhattan complicates Trump's presidential bid and adds to his legal burdens, which include 3 other prosecutions and a civil fraud case that could put him on the hook to pay hundreds of millions of dollars in penalties. A ruling on the civil matter in which the New York Attorney General alleged Trump inflated his wealth for financial gain could come as soon as Friday. The Manhattan's District Attorney's Office has denied being politically motivated, saying that it has brought hundreds of cases involving the same charge in the past 10 years. The office also said the investigation was delayed in part by the COVID-19 pandemic and litigation over a subpoena to Trump's accounting firm. Trump's federal election interference case in Washington, D.C. was scheduled to be the first trial to go forward, but the case is now on hold while Trump asked the Supreme Court to block a lower court's ruling. They have not denied him blanket immunity for alleged crimes he committed as president. In seeking to overturn the 2020 election results, the Supreme Court could act as soon as this week. Merchant said he had spoken to the judge overseeing Trump's federal trial in Washington, D.C. As you know, there are a lot of moving parts in the D.C. case, and really nobody knows what is going to happen, when it's going to happen, Merchan said. During the Manhattan hearing, the lawyers quibbled over the questions prospective jurors may be asked, including about political bumper stickers on their cars, whether they have contributed to campaigns, if they believe the election was stolen. We can ignore the elephant in the room, Blanche said. President Trump is running for president, and he is affiliated with the Republican Party. After the hearing, a single observer in the back clapped, and the former president grinned as he walked out the door. I'm Tyrone Bowman. Never surrender, never quit.